Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, we're so glad you have joined us. I'm the Reverend Cheryl Butler, and this is Journey Road Ministries, where we seek to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with our God. Today is the sixth Sunday after Epiphany, and I would like to begin our time together with a reading from Psalm 147. And I'm reading from Psalms for Praying by Nan Merrill, which is an interpretive version of the Psalms. Praise the beloved, heart of all hearts. We are blessed as we sing praises to the beloved. For as we give ourselves in love, so we receive love. The beloved abides in our heart, in every open heart that welcomes love. Through love we are sent to the brokenhearted, a mutual balm to the soul. We seek out the downtrodden, those without shelter or food, recognizing our own poverty with them. Those in prison also awaiting willing hearts to visit them, that forgiveness might free all from bondage. Sing to the beloved with thanksgiving. Mingle with the melodies of the spheres. Awaken to your inheritance in all the universe. For you belong to heaven, to the stars and galaxies. You come from the earth, from mineral and plant. Pure water courses through your veins. Every creature that swims and flies and walk on land knows you as of old. And each human in body or in spirit welcomes you in the heart song of love, where we are one being. Praise the beloved, life of all life. Invite love into your heart. For divine love gives strength to the weak, courage to face their fears. Divine love brings peace to the heart, peace that is beyond our knowledge. Divine love cuts through the ignorance that fosters greed and arrogance, humbling and breaking open the heart. Divine love severs the veil that separates the realms of profane and sacred. Holiness radiates through all, touched by divine love, a refining fire. Wisdom flows from the heart of divine love, to all receptive hearts nurtured in the silence. Yes, the divine word is written on every heart scroll, a guide to pilgrims on the way. May every one awaken to divine love, that peace and integrity and assurance may be born again in every land. O my soul, praise the beloved. And now, we have Dr. William Painter, who will share a song and a message with us.
Dr. William Painter here. I'm going to try a song called I Can't Wait. And I brought my band with me. No, I didn't. But, well, we're going to give this a shot and see if it works. And here we go. to an understanding of all views, and no prayer shall be refused, and I can wait. It seems that we have gone too far, and now we don't know where we are. I believe we'll find a guiding star, and I can't wait. Leaning, leaning, oh leaning, I'm safe and secure from all alarm. Oh, leaning, I'm leaning, leaning, I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. Finished at the same time. All right, hello, Dr. William Painter here. Hope you enjoyed that song. It's really funny. I've been working in technology for a really, really long time, and I never start out doing it right. I always use baling wire and some cotton and Band-Aids and a little spit and try to make things work. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could do a track? You know, I mean, instead of just me playing a guitar and singing. Which I like doing, but I thought, maybe I could like do a guitar track, and then I could play with it, and then it would sound better. And so I was determined to do that. I've got a laptop and a microphone, and it just wouldn't work. I mean, it just wouldn't work. And so I get online. I'm like, why can't I make tracks with this? And well, you need a machine. You need, a particular piece of technology to do that. And so. Nah, I don't need that. So what I did, I recorded a track, and I uploaded it to my Google Drive, and then I played it on my phone into a Bluetooth speaker. Then I stuck the speaker real close to my microphone, and then I played it, and so it actually kind of worked. I mean. You can listen to the song, and it doesn't sound bad. And I'm just tickled that it worked, and that it was a work. These are this is track one. Anyway, what a lovely, glorious day. We've got snow on the ground, and the sun is out, and it's February, and we're not far from Valentine's Day, which for me is a very special occasion because it was my wife's and my first date. I actually screwed up the courage to ask her out on a date. I was a very poor college student, graduate student, and so I didn't have any money. So I picked her up, which meant I met her somewhere, and we walked because I didn't have a car. And we walked over to the Berg in Columbia, Missouri, which is just an absolute landmark associated with the university there, the Berg. And I didn't have enough money for dinner, so I got her ice cream and strawberries because I knew she liked strawberries. She's just nuts about strawberries, and I knew she liked them, and I couldn't really afford to get chocolate-covered strawberries and things like that. So I got ice cream and strawberries, and we sat there in the Berg and ate them. And that was 29 years ago on February 14th, and I still get her strawberries now, and I'm awful glad she went out with me that night. I'm still just head over heels in love with her, and that's a rare thing, I think. So, and that has a lot to do with our sermon today, as well as with the song that I just performed. I can't wait, because we have a new president, we have a new view, we have a new vision, and we can just feel the lies falling away.
We can feel goodness and truth coming out and working its way into policy. I'm not saying that they're by any means perfect, but by golly, they are a head and shoulders, maybe even a torso above what we experienced under the former president. So I want to open up with our today's lectionary, the fifth Sunday of Epiphany. This is really about the presentation of Jesus and the bona fides, the establishing of the bona fides of Joshua of Nazareth. This comes from Mark chapter 1, 29 through 39. As soon as they left the synagogue, they entered the house of Simon and Andrew with James and John. Now, Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with fever, and they told him about her at once. And he came and took her by the hand and lifted her up, and the fever left, and she began to serve them. That evening at sundown, they brought to him all who were sick or possessed with demons. The whole city was gathered around the door, and he cured many who were sick with various diseases and cast out many demons, and he would not permit the demons to speak because they knew him. In the morning, while it was still very dark, he got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed. And Simon and his companions hunted for him. When they found him, they said to him, "Everyone is searching for you." He answered, "Let us go on to the neighboring towns, so that I may proclaim the message there also, for that is what I came out to do." And he went throughout Galilee, proclaiming the message in their synagogues and casting out demons. Well, that is the end of the gospel. And this gospel, this casting out of demons and curing the sick, is always a bit problematic for progressive Christians because we don't believe in magic. And so if Jesus could do that, then where are all the miracles now? And what is a miracle, and so on. And I don't let that bother me too much. First of all, because when we are a post-Enlightenment culture, looking back at a text that predates the Enlightenment by, 1,600 years, there's no possible way that the people who wrote this text would have any concept of scientific method or scientific understanding. And this is not a scientific text. This is not supposed to be about how do we cast out demons, or are there demons, or what does it mean to have a demon? When they said they cast out demons, they pretty much knew what they were talking about. But when I read casting out demons, I'm like, well, I don't think I really know what that means, because it doesn't fit well with the modern mind. I've worked in mental health. I've worked in mental retardation. I have met people who I was pretty darn sure they were possessed by a demon. I mean, the schizophrenia, fugue states, all of this can be scary for a person who has not been exposed to it before. I worked with a young boy who was always having visions, and he was always seeing things, always talking to people or things that weren't there. And we knew what he needed was his medication needed to be improved. And so we'd tweak his lithium, and all of a sudden these things would go away, and he'd be like a normal guy. But if you put him back a couple thousand years and he's walking around talking to demons, well, there's no explanation for it other than a supernatural one. And so at the time this text was written, the idea of, all prophets at the period, we were casting out demons and healing people. I mean, that was just part of the credentialing of being a prophet. You may say, well, okay, but, Jesus is special. Well, yeah, indeed he was special, but not because he cast out demons and not because he healed people. That was fairly common. It was, as I said, establishing one's bona fides. But what I want to concentrate on here is not whether he healed or didn't heal. It's whether, because I don't think we can even answer that question. But what was this process that he had And what was the meaning of it? So he goes into, who is it? Simon's mother-in-law's in bed. Now, this is a very curious passage. He goes in there. The woman's sick in bed with a fever. He lifts her up. The fever goes away, and she begins to serve people. And to the modern mind, you're like, what? Why is she serving people? She was just sick. Shouldn't they be serving her? Oh, this is a misogynist passage, and just women are supposed to serve and all that. And I'm not going to argue with that. Okay, I'm not going to argue with that, but I want to focus on that. I want to focus on the fact that when you get healed, you're supposed to get up and serve others. Period. You don't lay there and go, oh, wow, that was great, man. Thanks. I'm feeling a lot better. Let me go back to work. No. You get up and you serve others. And that's exactly what the fever left her, and she began to serve them. That is what Jesus did. That is what we should be doing. Women performed an absolute critical role in the discipleship surrounding Jesus. They were the first, female was the first to discover him, that the stone had rolled away, like in the song. A woman was, Mary Magdalene was probably the first priest, certainly the first evangelical. She brought the good news to the rest of the guys who were like, what, huh? They didn't believe her. No, I think that this is an example for us. That when we are healed, whether we're healed emotionally, whether we're healed spiritually, whether we're healed physically, we get up and we help others. That's what we do. We don't lay around and go, wow, that was great, thanks. Okay. Then you get up and do stuff. I'm always really irritated at people who say, oh, well, I'll pray for you, or I'm sending thoughts and prayers. I mean, that is just such a lame escape for an excuse to do nothing. Okay, I was reading about some poor family here, and the woman was relating to the fact that they were all sick. A household, 9 kids were all sick with COVID, and she was asking for prayers. And so all these 200 comments were, oh, prayers, and they had the hands and all that kind of stuff. And one person asked, do you have enough food? Are you okay? Can we bring you something? Can we leave something at your door? What can we do to help you? One person asked that question. Everybody else was, oh, thoughts and prayers. And then I'm sure that they went right on with their life. Thanks for the healing. Appreciate it. See you later. And I think the message here for us in this gospel is that Jesus does heal us. And in fact, Christians, and I've said this before in sermons, Christians became popular because of their ability and willingness to provide comfort care. The comfort care improved the survivability by 70% of the people who were suffering from the various waves of plagues that came through in this early ancient church period, primitive church. Primitive church. That's what allowed the church to grow. They would go. Now they died. All right, they got the plague and died. Right, but those who provided comfort care and survived were immune to the plague, and so they could walk into these plague-stricken areas. There were no, priests of the various Olympic gods or whatever they worshipped, pagan. We'll just throw a big pagan god. All the priests had left town. All the government officials had left town. Everybody was gone except the people who couldn't leave town, and they were dying. And the Christians went in there because Jesus healed. That was the example. Just what you see here. He healed them. So the Christians, going to be Christ-like, went into these cities and they died. Some survived. And when they survived, they could walk around with immunity. And in this pre-scientific mindset, well, they were blessed. God had blessed them with immunity. In a way, that's actually kind of true. I don't know of any human being that's actually, tinkered around and created a gene that makes us immune. We're approaching that, maybe, but they're working with materials that are extant, and so You ask where did the extra materials come from? Well, that's an open-ended question. I happen to think that we were made with a purpose. The universe has a purpose, but that's as far as my thinking goes on that, because I have no proof and it doesn't matter. What matters is that I get up and that I go out and that I help people, because that's what Jesus did. And it wasn't enough that he helped the people in this story, in this household. He said, let's go. Let's go to these towns. Let's heal others. Let's take the message out to others. And the message was really simple. Love God and love your neighbor. That's all he ever said. All these stories, all these parables were just that. That's why I think he was a terrible theologian. It's not possible for Jesus to have been a theologian. He was either the Son of God, in which case he was expressing God's will. There's no speculation about that. Or he wasn't, in which case he was, as a theologian, he was to come up with a logical, rational explanation for the nature of God, which he never did. And so I'm just not even going to deal with that. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. Jesus was what Jesus was. And his message to us is love God, love your neighbor. If you get healed, get up and help others. Because that's how we get through all this. I can't tell you many times I've seen people, oh, I don't want to wear a mask. Oh, you're imposing on my freedom. When the fact of the matter is, that person not wearing a mask is engaging in an unchristian act. They're selfish. They're self-centered. Even if there was only a little bit of a chance that mask helped, they should wear it. They should be glad to wear it. It should be a flag of their faith. That mask on their face. But, I have faith that someday we'll roll away the stone that we have carried for so long. And all our burdens will be gone. And I can't wait. Faith is what keeps us safe. Faith is what gives us courage. Faith is what allows us to walk into a place where people need help and to help them. It ain't thoughts and prayers. That's fine. Do that. No, it's like Pope Francis said. This is how prayer works. First you pray, and then you get up off your knees and you go do something. I'd like to do something on demons at some point, not today because I've already been talking for 16 minutes, but the concept of demons is really a fascinating one, but not for this session. What I want to say in this session is have faith, wear a mask, get healed, get up and serve others. And if someone's got a demon in them, well, help them cast it out. Because we all have demons in us. We all have fears, worries, and unhealthy desires. And it is up to us as a community to help cast those demons out. That's what Christians do. So, that's my message for the week. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you who have decided to join the Journey Road Facebook page, I'm glad you did. No one's going to try to convert you to do anything, and we're just here to share a message that we're all on a journey, and this is how some of us see it. So, God bless you. God keep you, and be safe. Wear a mask, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Amen.